What's up, guys? Tristan here, and today something very interesting has happened in Destiny. And if you guys are like me, you've gone out, you've registered your email with Bungie. They did do a couple of promotional things earlier on in Destiny or Taken King, where they gave out strange coins and such, and you'd be able to get notifications in your email box. Now, players that haven't been signing on in the last 2 or 3 different weeks or months have been getting emails in their inboxes asking why you haven't been playing Destiny lately. And this is all happening now that Peter Parsons has taken over as the CEO of Bungie. And in my opinion, this is a very good thing coming from the developers, but I think that also it's making a bigger example of what's wrong with Destiny right now. Because everyone's going all crazy that, this is coming out, this is a good thing, this is a step in the right direction, which in general it is, and it's nice to be able to give that one-on-one feedback with the developers about what's going on with the game and what's going wrong with the game. But in my opinion, Bungie should be spending more time asking the actual players of the game what the biggest issues are. And I know that you guys could say that Destiny in the past few months has already been making a lot of light on what is wrong in the game, because if you go to any of the forums, especially the Bungie forums in particular, there's a lot of complaining on that. There's a lot of negative comments, especially about the game, especially about Crucible. And as well as you go on to the Reddit, which previously was just for people that were really into the game, and it was a place to go and be very friendly and have a lot of competition. Now it's turned itself into Raoul's Salt Emporium. If you guys had noticed that the tab had changed its name a few days ago, right now it's changed back. It may change again in the future. But the thing that I have the biggest problem about with this questionnaire is that they haven't asked any of the players that are still playing Destiny what they want to have changed. And this is kind of along the same lines of, in my opinion, what ended up happening with Call of Duty in the last year or two, where we started seeing a decline in the actual players of that game, where the company was more worried about the audience that they hadn't tapped than the people that were actually playing the game. And in this instance, it's the people that have already left the game that they're focusing on, as opposed to the players that are still playing. Now, they're trying to get people back saying, oh, well, PvP will be better, we promise, or PvE will be better, we promise. And in my opinion, now that the new CEO has come in, I think that this may be something we see more of, but I want to start seeing things on the forums. I want to start seeing things in Reddit. I really want Deej to get out there and do something. Like, I can't be the only person in the community that feels that way. Cosmo's doing a good job, but I'd really like to see, some polls. I mean, Destiny has the ability to go on to the forums and say, what kind of guns do you think should be buffed or nerfed? Because it's really the people in the community that you'll be able to get the best information from. I mean, we're the people that sit day to day and had to deal with Thorn for like 2.5 months, 3 months. The last word for 2.5, 3 months. Right now, just think of it, Mida Multi-Tool is a big complaint right now. 1,000-yard stare for sure. And if you ask me, and it's always been something I'll complain about, the damage over time, especially from Warlocks on Hunter classes, is absolutely insane. So, I would like to be able to go out and, every week voice my opinion in some sort of poll on the forums and be able to talk to them there. I mean, of course, Destiny has this huge online presence. I mean, the fact that the Grimoire cards are localized on their website has drawn people out, and, it makes it very aware that, we can find people online that want to talk about this game. We have the LFG site, we have Reddit, we have their actual forums, and it's not like people wouldn't see these things. So in the future, I would very much like to have the ability to toss my card into a hat and say, I think this should be buffed or nerfed, or, we want to see this. Now, something else I want to talk about, which I'm going to try and keep it short instead of a 12-minute video, is the new CEO. Now, recently I had a friend ask me whether or not I thought the game was going to get better because of the CEO, and this is a direct change that has to do, I think, with the fact that we had Pete Parsons come over and take over. And we're seeing now that they're putting out these kinds of questionnaires. But in my opinion, I don't think having a new CEO is going to have any reflection on the actual gameplay or anything that's going to come from the gameplay. Because, as I explained to him later in my argument, the CEO's job is not to make the online experience better. In fact, in some instances, it can be quite the opposite. If you were to go out and play a game that was very clear and concise and had a beginning to the storyline and an end to the storyline, you know exactly when you're going to stop paying for the game. After I beat this DLC, that's the end of it. There's not going to be any more. Now, Destiny said that they wanted to have a 10-year game. That is true, that could last for a very, very long time, but unfortunately, because we don't know the story of the game, it could go for 15 or 20 years. I mean, if they update the graphics engine, or if they say, hey, we'll put out Destiny 2 and fix all these changes, or fix all these issues, they could keep going indefinitely. And in fact, that would not be bad for Bungie. Bungie would continue making money, and their shareholders would be very, very happy. And unfortunately, that's the reason why, in my opinion, there's a new CEO now, is because the general consensus, especially after the Yahoo poll that I managed to see the other day, there has been a lack of people getting on Destiny. Over several 100,000 people did not sign into the game like they did last year. Or not last year, last 2 months, in fact. And that is just a huge change, especially given that the last time I saw any kind of numbers about people signing in, it was the fact that most Destiny players played for 2 to 3 hours a night. Now, having 700,000 people not sign in and play 2 to 3 hours like they normally do, that is a major change in a negative way. So, like I said, having Peter Parsons come in could be good, could be bad. I'd like to honestly see the ability, like I said, to go out and throw my card into a hat and actually talk with the devs kind of somewhat one-on-one in that aspect. Because ever since, I want to say last year, sometime around January, when they removed the ability to leave comments on the updates, it kind of felt very, very one-sided, and that's when the game started going downhill, in my opinion. I mean, it wasn't exactly that. It was the fact that we were closed off from what we'd heard, and especially in the last few weeks, the things that have been brought to light, especially with their coding department, or the not necessarily true post that somebody made about Bungie only having 3 to 4 people doing code at all. So like I said, this could be good, this could be bad, but we'll see what comes in the future. So if you guys like this video, please drop a like. Feel free to share it around. I do check comments and such, so if you guys want to have a discussion down there, feel free. I would love to talk to you guys about what you feel is going on, and yeah, get some of those opinions. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. I'll see you next time.